Hello everyone, welcome to Gardening with the Landscape Connection. Man, is it hot out here today. It is like 90% humidity. I think the actual temperature might only be 88 degrees, but it feels like 100 degrees. I have changed my shirt twice. And I know the girls were out here watering all of the plants and shrubs and trees. And I saw them over there earlier, like hosing each other off and hosing their hair off and putting it back up because it was so hot today. And when it's hot, the plants really stress and they need extra water. So if you are going through this little heat wave right now like we are in Northern Illinois Zone 5, then maybe you need to get out and get your sprinklers on your plants. You might go outside and they're all like, help me, I need water. So you might want to get out there and do that. Hopefully this is going to break after tomorrow. We're going to drop back into the lower 80s, upper 70s with lows in the 50s, upper 50s at night. So that will be a wonderful reprieve. We also had rain, and even though the rain made it sticky and humid, we needed the rain so bad, so I'm really glad that we got it. So we have spent the last 3 days here at the Garden Center doing what we call our Midsummer Reset. We do this every year because in July, you're not as busy as you are in May and June at the Garden Center when everyone's buying their annuals, they're buying their herbs and their vegetables, and they're thinking spring and buying all those beautiful spring bloomers. But then you hit July, and guess what? You still have to pay the employees. You still have to pay the bills. So you know what? We do a reset and try to create kind of like inspirational little vignettes or little areas that people can visualize that maybe in their landscaping. And so we spent the last 3 days just kind of cleaning everything up, taking down pallets, taking down cinder blocks, and then moving everything to one end of the outside area of the garden center and creating these areas. So today, because it is really super hot, I'm not planting anything today. I thought that I would just take you around and maybe inspire you with some of the little vignettes that we did. Now, as I was creating these vignettes, I did kind of keep in mind my 4 colors that I like to use even when I'm landscaping. So I do it when I'm setting up displays too. And I'll look for red, blue, green, and yellow. So if I can get those 4 colors in my little vignette, it helps pull it all together. But the main reason we do it is, one, it's just nice to reset the store and make it look fresh and new and different because we do have a lot of the same customers that come in and we want it to always look fresh. Then we also do it because this is the time of year where people, if they're going to landscape, they're coming in and maybe they're not planting today. Maybe they're not planting until fall, or maybe they're not planting until next year. But you know what? They're going to get an idea of what it is that they want to do, and hopefully they'll come back to our store because we helped them in some way or we inspired them in some way to go home and plant something in their garden. So that's why we do it. So I thought I'd just take you around and show you some of those. I think the girls have worked incredibly hard putting them together. One of my girls, Tina, is finishing up cleaning clematis. I think that's the last thing we have left to do. And then it's just a matter of, you know, as people buy things in the little areas that we created, we just have to make sure we keep filling them in. So let's take a little walk and check it out. So we are in one of our greenhouses right now, and this greenhouse actually gets pretty warm, so we don't keep any plants in here once we hit July. Basically everything kind of moves out here. And so we have the walking paths out here where the people can come and stroll through and then just look at the different plants. And people are always out here and there's always someone that's working that can help them. So this is the first vignette that we created right here. Isn't that great? I love this. So this was actually the first one that I did. And we put a Royal Frost birch in here, which is our birch tree here. And because there's wind out here, we always have to anchor the trees somehow. So instead of doing a tree corral, we'll find like a big ceramic pot or something like that. So like here, see how I put it in a big ceramic pot, and then I put some mugo pines down inside of it. Because I think mugos planted at the base of this would be really pretty. And then we have some strawberry Sunday hydrangeas in here, which are here and here. Then we flanked it with some of the backlit phlox on this side here. We have some sand cherries back behind it. And then if you drop down lower, we've got these beautiful My Monet Weigelias, and I love these. This has got that beautiful variegated foliage on it. And it gets light pink flowers on it. They're really small. They don't get very big. So if you're looking for like a little shrub to tuck in, this is a really nice one. And then I've got 2 more mugo pines here in the front. And then we've got these blue star junipers. So see, there's blue. There's my red. Oh, I had yellow in here. Somebody must have bought it. I had some black-eyed Susans in here. And then I have green, so I have all the different colors. And then if you come over here, we've got some of the new sedum from Proven Winners. This is that Coral Jade Rock and Grow. I really like those. So all of these through here are those. And then we've got some beautiful Veronica back behind that. And then I just put 2 little arborvitaes back behind it. So just to put some green right there. So when you walk out, this is the first, you know, little vignette that you see with a little statue of Mary in there that we propped up. And then we have this permanent fixture here. This is a little arbor. It doesn't have a top on it. We just kind of use it as a structure to kind of build different, you know, areas around. And as you come around the corner here, we've got some more of the sedum, because sedum is something that people will be planting here fairly quickly. This is the autumn fire in here. And then we've got some of these Bloomin' Easy, and these are the Woodgilias. And this one is called Tuxedo. And it's got a really dark leaf on here, and that great. And then look, it's got white flowers on it. So this one is really, really dramatic in the landscape. I just think it's so cool. So that one is called Tuxedo. And I think this one grows in zone, let's see, 4 through 7. It gets 4 to 5 feet tall, 4 to 5 feet wide, and it wants 6 or more hours of sun. I think that one is great. See, and then we just come around. We've got some of these Firebird, like lollipop crabs here. And then underneath that, we put some phlox. And then we have some more Woodgilias here. This one back here is another one from Bloomin' Easy. It's called Strobe. And look at the leaves on there. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? And so this one says, let me put my glasses on. This one says, if you blink, you may miss one of the many colors of Strobe Woodgilia. From spring through autumn, you'll see bright pink flowers against green and bronze, then orange, then crimson red foliage. Because it's compact and low maintenance, you'll spend less time on care and have more time for dancing or relaxing or whatever you like to do. So this one here is zone 4 through 7. It gets 3 by 3. I think that one is so interesting. Then you just kind of come around. We just group some David Austin roses around the outside edge. And then we just come over here, and like we have just landscaped areas right here. And then we have landscaped areas here. And we have our pond right here, and then another landscaped area behind it right there. So this all back here is what we cleared up, and we brought everything forward to make it look cleaner and fuller, because you know, you don't have as much inventory this time of year either. All right, then we come around this way, and this one is, we did a Russian sage, is kind of like the color block that we use. So we have the Proven Winners denim and lace, we have the little spire, the regular one, we have some alliums in here, and then we also have some barberries. If they ever made a barberry without thorns on it, it would be one of the most popular shrubs ever. Got a smoke bush back here. We have some grasses, the lemon squeeze. Oh, that one fell over. That's the lemon squeeze by Proven Winners. And then if you just come around the corner, got some more lavender here. We just put some of the obelisks in here. And then these are the Pacific blue junipers, and we elevated them up so they drape a little bit. Got some boxwoods back here. Got a nice Mr. Bowling Ball arborvitae right there. And then if you turn around this way, see, we just make a little vignette with a bench, and we put the Ivory Halo dogwoods in there. Put a little spruce tree in this one, just to create a nice little area. And then if you keep coming this way, you can come through here and you can see all of the Nepeta. This is the cat's, I think this is the cat's pajamas right here. And let me come around this way. And then we've got some dwarf Alberta spruces here. Got a beautiful prairie fire crab here. I love this crab tree. It's one of my favorites. It is a fairly large one. It's going to get 20 feet tall and 20 feet wide, but it gets these really bright fuchsia pink flowers. And the foliage, when it comes out, see how it's kind of like this purple green thing going on together? And it's got persistent crabs on it. So see, they don't get very big. Those are the little crabs, but they stay on there. And when you go into winter, they turn bright red, and then it stays on there for a long time because the birds eat them last. At least here they do. All right, so I really, really like that for an ornamental crab. Then we've also got some Monarda, and you can see I've already started to sell stuff out of the beds because I had a lot of Monarda up here, and now it's all gone. But this is another one of the Rock and Grow sedums. This one is the Back in Black. So I do like that one. I love the color of that one up against the grass here. And this is the Cheyenne Sky. Right here I have like smaller ones and some taller ones. And then this is the standalone clematis. And look at the little bells on there. Aren't those great? This is the Stand By Me lavender. And then look at that. These are so delicate and so pretty. And then we've got some 9 barks in with that as well. And these, I believe, are ginger wines. So nice. And I just like this color combination together. I just think it looks really, really good. So hopefully that inspires somebody, you know, that's a nice color combination that they can put together. All right, then we're gonna swing over this way. Oh, look at our pots. Aren't they awesome? So this is one of the pots that we did for the Super Summer Challenge. We'll do another video on that next week, but these are coming along very well. I will say that the lantana totally drowned out the lavender and the rosemary though, but I still love them. They look great. Okay, and then we come around here. We have our picnic table here. We had to move it from over there. The birds were just ripping it apart. And so it's a little more protected over here. And then we actually put some stuff on there because we needed some table space. But it gets a little protection from the sun over here. But as you can see, it's actually doing well. So that's a video that we did. I don't know. It's been a while since I did it. And that was where we put the succulents in the picnic table. And I think that this thing just turned out fabulous. Let me come down here. And then we just like, sometimes if we have just like one plant of something until the order comes, we'll put it on the picnic table. But look at this. Isn't this great? I just think this thing is beautiful. Today, there's no portulaca blooming. I don't know why, because usually every day we have portulaca that are open. But check this out. And check out the flowers on there. Isn't that just so cool? I love that. Okay, so now you just kind of continue to walk this way. And here we've got some burning bushes. We've got some little zebra grass. We've got the white swan echinacea. Here are the black-eyed Susans. We've got both the American Gold Rush and the Viette's Little Susies. Some more sand cherries backing everything up. And then we've got some Baptisia here with a blue globe spruce. Just tucked a little bench in there. Now this one we do have an umbrella over the top of it because the black-eyed Susans, they struggle in the pots. So we're always happy when we sell those because they want out of their pots and they sometimes will wilt quicker if they're in full sun when they're in their pot. All right, then you kind of come around this way and we'll just kind of walk over here and take a look at our bed that we did in the urn. I guess the urn fountain and the bed around it. I think this thing is just going nuts. I think this looks great. So we've got the dark purple Angelonia right back here. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Then we did the Proven Winners Petunia Bordeaux. And then I think it's the Velveteen is that one. And then we did the Marguerite Potato Vine. So we did this on 2 sides. And then this is my favorite side though. Oh my gosh, I love this one with the blue Juncus grass and then the Bordeaux, the Velveteen, and then the white fanflower or the Scaviola. I just think, I just love this. I think it is so beautiful. And it's not even done growing. Isn't that great? I need to thin the potato vine. It kind of is taking over. It's happy. Too happy. So I'm gonna have to thin that one out a little bit because I want to be able to see the flowers. That's why I like this side better. I think because I can see all the flowers. Back that up. Isn't that great? I just think that that's so pretty. Okay, so you leave the fountain area and then you just come around to the other side. So as you can see, we were just over there. Okay, here's the fountain. It's behind me now. And there's the pond area. So now we're going to come around this area. Here's another planted up area. And we go this way. Now, if you want to take the path, you can take the path this way and go around, and all of this embankment back here, that's all planted up and everything. You can go back there and look. So here we have the ornamental grasses up here. So we just tabled those up, and then some of the shrubs that have to be in the shade or they really stress out. So we just kind of kept those back there. So this is kind of just groupings of shrubs. It's not really a little vignette. But if you turn around this way, Here we go. We created some more right here. So this one here, we ended up putting a red maple tree in here, and we put it in one of the pots. And then we just kind of built it around that. So we've got our palm juniper. I like to call them Dr. Seuss bushes. But this is a poodle juniper here. It's got that nice blue ball on there. Then we've got some of the Dobbs frosted junipers, some of the little nanas. We've got green mountain boxwood, some of the little pugster butterfly bushes, because you can grow those here. Then we've got some coral drift roses, and then we've just got a nice assortment of different cone flowers, some more of the Black Hills spruce, and then the phantom chocolate Joe Pye weed, and then some holly. So that's kind of this one right here. And then we just put a little, you know, a little concrete statue in there. All right, and then if you come down here, we've got another little vignette here that we put the burning bushes kind of in an arc behind it, so that we've got the burning bushes in an arc. And then we did the wine and roses and the spilled wine woodgilias. And then we've got another flowering crab tree here. This one is called Indian Summer. So that's that one there. And again, we put it in a pot. We flanked it with some boxwoods in the front. And yeah, we had a couple of the Bella Lugosa daylilies left. Here's what's going to happen though. They're almost done blooming. They've only got 1, 2, 3, 4 more flowers. So those will probably open in the next couple days. And unfortunately with daylilies, if you don't have somebody that's like a daylily lover looking for something, a daylily, if they're not in bloom, you have a hard time selling them. So this one, if it doesn't sell, we'll end up trying to sell it, but you know, it might end up in the landscaping. Here we've got yarrow, and then one red knockout rose, and then here we've got the proven winner Ringo All-Star, and then here's some more ornamental crabs, just kind of all your maids in a row right there. And that's kind of the corrals that we make for a lot of the trees. And we do that because they're always falling over if you don't in some way secure them. So we have to do that so that they're not falling all over. All right, then you come over here and we've got this little this is the last display I did, where I used some of the rocket barberries. I also have some more of the green gem boxwoods. Look at this lily. Isn't this glorious? It's another one that if you don't sell it when it's blooming, you have a hard time selling them when all that's left is just that. And so we're hoping that somebody will buy this beautiful lily. If not, it'll end up, that one will probably end up in the landscape. I lost a lot of lilies this year. Them stinking chipmunks, they were going at it. And they were really brave, and they were really like in your face. Look at me eating the bulb on your lily. And they would sit there right in front of you and eat it. And you'd be like, are you kidding? Yeah, I lost a lot of lilies to the chipmunks this year. Okay, I'm off my soapbox with those guys. But here we go. Look at this guy. This is a skyrocket juniper. And so look at that beautiful blue color. It gets 20 to 24 inches wide. So it's pretty skinny, but it gets 20 feet tall. I just love the blue of that. Then we've got some of the taller Miss Molly butterfly bushes back behind there. Got some delphiniums down here, some of the orange cone flowers and the red hot pokers. Got a serviceberry back here, and then some more 9-barks. And these are the summer wine 9-barks. And then we've got some asters, and then some more winter gem boxwoods. Then we've just, you know, we've taken the trees and we've got those up along the building here. And it's really the best place for us to put the trees because the building blocks the wind. So it works really well for us. So all of our little trees in a row there. And then we've got some of our tiger's eye sumac and the regular sumac here with just, I have one peach drift rose left, and then some more butterfly bushes that are way overgrown. They want out of their pots. Seriously went out of their pots and want to go into the ground, but they fall over left and right, so we just dropped them down inside of those pots. So this is our outside area here, and we hope that, you know, it inspires people. And I know you didn't see any hydrangeas, you didn't see any hibiscus, because all of those are on the other side of the building in the front parking lot area. That's where we staged all of that, because that is our big sale right now. And then we have another little area out there that's our perennial of the week. This week it's daisies. So all of our daisies are out there. Next week it'll be Russian sage. So every week we flip out a new perennial of the week. And then I also have an area where it's like the stuff that you cut back. And so it's like this little pile over here. And we have to get it up on a table because I just finished this. I think yesterday is when I finished it. No, I finished Wednesday because yesterday I did the berm. So this is like my little pile that I just have to get up on a table because it's, you know, it's salvia and geraniums and veronica and lavender. It's all stuff that's been cut back. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with these plants, but people don't buy them unless you put them on sale. Because they don't have any flowers on them, and you know, people buy with their eyes. So you know, we put these on sale, and we'll make them, you know, half off or buy one get one free. I haven't decided yet. They'll start tomorrow, and then you know, that way they'll go to a home and go in the ground, and someone will love them or kill them. One or the other. They'll do one or the other. So here is our back area. I just love it. I think it is turning out so nice. All of our fruit is over here. This is just a little succulent garden that we have here, and then we have all of our succulents over here, and then you just go down this little lane right here, and that's all of our clematis, and Tina's working there cleaning stuff up. So you know, people ask me all the time, so what is your design process, and how do you do that, and how do you come up with all those different designs that you do? And you know, I think for me it's really easy because I've been doing it for a really long time. But I wanted to sit down and I kind of thought about it. You know, if I'm somebody who doesn't know anything about plants, or I'm somebody that, you know, I want to have a beautiful yard, but I don't know where to start, where do you start? And so I think this is a good place to start. I think going to a garden center and walking around and looking at what you like. I also think that watching gardening stations on YouTube or going to Pinterest and finding things that you like, I think that also is a starting place so that you kind of can think about what it is that you even like. You know, the other thing I think is you do have to do a little bit of homework if you don't know the plants. You know, what's low maintenance, what's high maintenance, what do I have to do to this plant to make it look good all the time? So I think that's a good starting place for anyone who wants to change out what they're going to do. I know that sometimes I will go outside and just sit in an area, and I even do this when I'm selling a design to a client. I will go sometimes and just sit in my car, or I've gotten a chair before and sat in their front yard or their backyard and just sat there and just soaked in the area, like visually, what do I want it to look like? Do I want a tree here? Do I want a tree here, shrubs here? How am I going to get my 4 colors in there? You know, how big is everything going to get? What actually grows in my zone? You know, is this sun? Is it shade? Is it part sun, part shade? Are there wind conditions? So you want to look at all of those things and think about it. And I think what happens is more times than not, we have a property and we either inherited everything that's there and we live with it, and you know, we want to make it better, but we're not sure how to do it. We don't know how to get rid of the weeds. We don't know what to buy. We don't know what to put in. So the first thing is, you know, what kind of sun exposure does it get? Is it north, south, east, or west? Is there anything creating shade? Is there anything creating dappled shade? Is there, you know, hot blazing sun? Is it morning sun, afternoon sun? Assess your light first. That way, that'll give you a better idea of what kind of plant to put in so that you're putting the right plant in the right place. So many times people shop and you go to the garden center and you walk around like I just did and you find things that you like, but then you just buy it and you take it home and you put it in the ground and you hope that it does what you want it to do. And you hope that it grows and, you know, or it stays small and cute in its little can. That happens more times than not, where people will buy something and they, well, you know, it was so cute when I bought it and then it got 8 feet tall. Make sure that wherever you're going to put something, it's going to fit in that spot. Don't try to make a shrub that's 8 feet high be 3 feet high. Buy a shrub that's 3 feet high, you know, so make sure you read your tags, do some homework, lay out, you know, draw a square. You don't have to be a great drawer. You can make little circles and, you know, just write on there, when does it bloom? What color is it? Do I have my 4 colors? How high is it? You know, how big is it going to get? And when you draw your circles, try to make a representation of how big that's going to get. Graph paper is a beautiful thing because if you draw it to the full size, then you're going to have a better idea of how much you can get in the bed, and you have a good idea of how wide you need to make the bed. If you're going to be planting shrubs, for the most part, 4 feet is not wide enough. There are very few shrubs that are 4 feet. And you don't want them up on top of your house. You want to have some room in between your house and the shrub when it's full grown, so that you have airflow back there, so that you can get back there, so that, you know, it's not eroding the dirt away. And then the next thing you know, all of your dirt is sloped towards your house instead of away from your house. All of those things to think about. So that's, I think, where you need to start. Assess your light. Assess how big do you want the bed to be, and get out a piece of paper or a piece of graph paper and draw out, even if it's just a rectangle, you know, it's just the side of my house or it's just the front. Draw in the circles of how big the things are that you want to have, and then read the tags or go on the internet and Google the different plants and find out what are the care requirements. Are you going to go out there? Are you going to go out there and do everything that you need to do to take care of the plants? Or do you want to just put it in, water it, and I don't want to mess with it? So you have to ask yourself those questions too, because if you don't want to mess with it, then maybe you should be buying things that you don't have to prune. You really don't want to put perennials in, because guess what? Every perennial out there needs a little bit of care. Yes, there are some that just grow, but at the end of the year, you got to cut them back. You know, some perennials, you have to stake them up. Some perennials, you got to deadhead them. So you don't want to go get a high maintenance one. So do your homework. Make sure that you're reading your tags. Do a preliminary sketch. Assess your light. Think about how big you want it to be. And then also ask yourself, what purpose does it serve? Why am I making this area? Am I making it because I want beauty? Am I making it for curb appeal? Because that's important. Am I making it because I want to be able to go outside and be in my garden and enjoy it? Am I creating, you know, a space that's like a little secret garden? I mean, why are you creating the space? You know, sometimes I create beds to create beds, and I don't always think through the why. And you think I would, because I was a landscaper for so long, and it's one of the number one questions I ask everybody is, why are we doing this space? And sometimes I don't ask myself that question. And then the next thing you know, I'm looking at a bed going, yeah, why did I create this bed? So I always want to make sure that I'm a little more intentional about what it is that I'm doing, because it can be expensive to put things in and rip them out, and especially if they die, you know, and it's your fault. And I'm not one to go back to the garden center and say, give me a new plant because I killed it. And more times than not, it's probably you that killed it. And so, I don't know, I think a little thought and care and time to do some homework is a good thing. So that is where I would start if I was a brand new gardener that didn't know anything. I would do those things first. And then I would continue to watch this station to learn more about gardening. So I'm Michelle. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped. I hope it was inspiring. I hope I didn't just ramble on and on and on and nobody got anything out of it. And if I did, I'm really sorry. And if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Make sure to subscribe below, share with your friends, leave your comments, and stay tuned for our next videos. Next week, we are putting in the cottage garden. We'll see you next time, guys. Keep on gardening. We'll talk to you later.